What up, geeks? Rob here from the Geek Abides, and I'm hanging out with Bear and Aaron, and we are talking about James Cameron's Aliens. The three of us had the pleasure of going down to the Hollywood Theater in Portland, Oregon to see James Cameron's Aliens on 70 millimeter for the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think?
It was an absolutely unbelievable experience, and I had an absolute blast with it.
This movie is one of my top 10 favorite movies of all time, and I grew up watching this. It was like on HBO all the time when I was in like 5th grade. And dude, it just instantly became a classic for me. You're totally right.
Not to mention just the whole production of it on 70 millimeter, walking up, seeing it on the marquee, getting in there, the smell of the old theater.
It's also the first time I'd ever seen Aliens on the big screen.
Yeah, I never saw it on the big screen either. It came out in, 84, so it was the year I was born, actually. Is it 84? Did that come out in 84?
I think it was 86.
86.
86.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're,
It would have been 86.
yeah, you lost one geek.
Sorry, yeah.
How was the experience, guys, of seeing Aliens in a geek crowd like that?
Well, one thing that I noticed, too, was it was absolutely silent throughout the entire film.
Dude, it was the perfect viewing experience.
I mean, you couldn't get
It really
any better.
was.
Probably 200 people filled that theater, and it was an absolute joy to sit there and watch it all day with these folks. And
it was completely sold out.
yeah, from the get-go, from the organ player to the time we left, I felt like I was at home with everybody.
I had never had more fun watching a movie, and I had seen Aliens probably 50 times.
Sure.
But this time, sitting in a big theater, watching it on the big screen, it was like a brand new experience altogether.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about the movie itself. So this is a sequel to Ridley Scott's 1979 film Alien. Basically, the character of Ripley is found in the escape pod from the Nostromo. She wakes up, it's 57 years later. She's basically blamed for the destruction of the vessel Nostromo and loses her job. The only job she can get is working on the docks running a power loader. Then she's recruited by the military and the company to go back to LV 426 to investigate a missing colony that had established there while she was in hypersleep.
You're going out there to destroy them, right? Not to study, not to bring back, but to wipe them out.
That's the plan.
And then they go back and all hell breaks loose. What is your favorite scene in Aliens?
When she comes out in the power loader and brings those Tombs arms up for the first time,
Yeah.
just steps out and there's the steam and the classic cinema, that
That
first
money
face
shot,
It's
yeah.
perfect.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Dude, that's like a legitimate stand-up clap cheer
Absolutely.
moment.
Yep.
What about you, Aaron? What do you think? Do you have a favorite scene?
Love the power loader. My favorite scene, though, is when Bill Paxton's character is kind of being told, get it together, man. This little girl just survived, what was the last 4 months down here? Why don't you put her in charge then, man?
Maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
Bill Paxton steals the show.
The whole theater was cracking up every time he spoke.
Yeah, he is definitely the comedy relief in this film.
This can't be happening, man. This isn't happening.
One of my favorite scenes is when the group is actually making their way into the actual colony for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
And they're like, they actually have found on the radar where all the heartbeats are, and they're slowly working their way into this, what we know is a hive, but they have no idea. And they've got the smart guns, and they're just ready to rock. And they're like, oh, yeah, we're by the reactor, no firing. And they like collect all the clips, but everybody's got their own. They're like, fuck that shit.
Right.
And then when the aliens attack, dude, that was just like, because we'd all seen Alien, and in Alien there's one alien, right?
Yeah, now there's 50.
And now there's like hundreds.
Right.
And it was the first time, you're like, oh shit.
This is going to be a war.
Yeah.
Right.
That scene alone was just like, dude,
It makes the movie. It
Yeah.
completely makes the movie.
That's how I think anyone would be. Oh yeah, you got some aliens, so what? Big deal.
We're on
You
a
get
bug
down.
hunt, man.
Right. We're space marines. They come in here and, you got 50 of them crawling from the ceilings, from the floor, oh shit. So
Right.
it really sets the mood for the rest of the film from that point on.
Let's talk about Newt. Carrie Henn, the actress that plays Newt, I think did a stellar job. What do you guys think?
It's a sequel to a horror movie. They have to have a little bit of tension. It shows her, gives her a chance to be a little bit more compassionate, but she's still going to kick ass. And that's exactly what she did in this film.
Yeah, and I think it adds a element of realism too, because let's face it, if we were all colonists, we would have children around at some point, and that would be a real possibility. True. And really seeing that movie through a kid's eyes and seeing what she would see adds a whole new perspective to that film.
I'd like to keep this handy for close encounters.
I heard that.
I love Michael Biehn in the 80s.
He looks just like a normal average guy. Like, I could be Michael Biehn if I was about 100 pounds lighter. But, you know what I mean? Like, if this movie was made today, all these grunts would be, like, ripped and
steroid-ridden.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, back then, they were just normal, everyday, average Joes. And, they just weren't all muscle-roided out.
Yeah.
Arguably, one of the best sequels ever made.
Oh, by all means.
Of course.
Absolutely. It's hard to argue that point.
So have you guys seen the Aliens director's cut?
No, I have not.
Oh my
No.
God, it's such a great movie. It just adds more to what you already love. There's like a really awesome scene near the beginning with Newt and her family. And they actually go out in this rover and they find the derelict spaceship with all the alien eggs from the first movie. And they also had a really poignant scene where you'll learn that Ripley had a daughter.
Do you have any news about my daughter?
Well, we did come up with some information. Amanda Ripley McLaren, married name, I guess, age 66. And that was at the time of her death, which was 2 years ago. I'm real sorry.
She had grown up and died in the 57 years she was in hypersleep.
Oh.
And so she has all this pain she's dealing with. And so when she meets Newt and kind of becomes motherly again and has to go and rescue her, it just makes it so much more poignant.
Well, that would seem like a huge plot continuity thing that they would have wanted in the original.
Right.
That would make more sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking about adding a whole new, not only market of people that love that, but you're adding the human element too, which would be huge in a film like that.
Yeah. My preferred version to watch is the director's cut. So if you guys ever get a chance to watch that, you will appreciate it so much more.
I'll definitely need to check it out.
All right, guys. So that's our experience with Aliens.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now?
I'd rate this movie a 10 out of 10. Bear, would you rate it?
Oh, I got a 9. Solid 9.
Aaron?
I give that showing a 10 out of 10. That was just the theater, the movie, everything. It just came together. It was awesome.
So we had such a great time with Aliens. Bear and I are going back to the Hollywood Theater this Sunday to watch Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's going to be the first time I've ever seen it on the big screen.
My first time as well.
Again, it's in my top 10 list, so I'm just having a hell of a 2 weeks here.
Yeah.
Seeing all these badass movies for the first time again on the big screen. That's it for us. Don't forget, be excellent to each other, because whatever you're into, man, the Geek Abides.